Each year for the past 2 decades, a Team Mid-American Conference Championship has been celebrated right here on the campus of Kent State University. And seemingly, amid changing times, teams, coaches, and surroundings, the Golden Flashes athletic programs seem to outdo themselves every single year. However, in 2010-2011, it really seemed to stretch the envelope as far as things we've never seen before. We saw a gymnastics team qualify for a level they'd never seen before. We saw a national champion in the sport of... Joel, where'd you come from?
Ty, great to see you. Just walking across campus.
On a beautiful day.
Beautiful day, beautiful day. What do you get going?
You interrupted our year in review. What do you have to say for yourself?
I'd love to help you out.
Let's do it. You want to stay for a while?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's begin right from the top then. I mean, you came back in. This was your first full year as the athletic director. Hard to pick maybe one or two memories. Would you have any that stand out?
Well, I think a couple really do, and we had a lot of them, obviously, but a couple stand out because they were first in the history of our program, which is kind of hard to do after you've been around 100 years. But with Dustin Kilgore winning the individual championship, NCAA wrestling championship at 197, has to be one of the highlights. And then along the other first this year was the women's gymnastics team qualifying for the national championship, which was not only the first time in our history, but also in the MAC. And so, you know, I think you have to put those two up there probably at the top because they were the first ever in our 100-year history. So it was a heck of a year, though, all the way across the board.
Well, the fall started with a championship, regular season by the field hockey team. They double-dipped it because they also won the tournament championship. What do you say we take a look back at the fall of 2010?
Absolutely. Let's take a look.
Keith takes the snap, does go to Jarvis, tries right side, has a block at the 20. Eugene Jarvis sprints into the clear and scores! How about that?
Welcome back. We're taking a look now, a great fall that we just took a look back. Now we're going to move into when the weather gets a little colder, but that kind of belied what we saw over in the MAC Center because things really heated up, Joel.
Well, absolutely. I mean, both basketball programs, we came out with a campaign of the 20, you know, drive for 20, win 20 games out of both teams, and they didn't disappoint. I mean, obviously both teams hit the mark and had some great atmospheres at the MAC Center. Wrestling also had some great atmospheres over there, obviously with Dustin being our premier wrestler, but some of the crowds that were in there, gymnastics had some great crowds, and that whole place was a buzz all winter long. Leading up to that, one of the finales in there, I guess you could say, from the wintertime was that Akron game. And that win really signified a lot of what the winter season was all about.
I don't know where you want to start with looking back at the winter, but we've got to start somewhere. This ought to be fun. Take a look back at the winter sports season here at Kent State.
54-51, Castle operating. She tries to throw it inside, and it's picked off by Kent State.
Here's Sherman outside for three.
From the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, it is National Title Night here in the city of brotherly love. The 197-pound matchup features Kent State's Dustin Kilgore against second-seeded Clayton Foster of Oklahoma State. 10 seconds away. Dustin Kilgore has him on his back, it looks like. And Kilgore with 5 seconds. Kilgore has pinned Foster for the title! Dustin Kilgore pins his way to history! He was down 5-1! And the Flashes make history by fall. Kent State has its first national title since 1973.
Then we had a chance to turn our attention to the spring sports. Weather warms up, and Joel, that's usually when things really get heated up, because then you start talking about recent Jacoby Cups. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, but where do you start as far as the spring goes?
Well, I don't know where you start because we're successful in all of our sports in the spring. You know, I think it definitely ended around the championships, obviously, with our men's and women's golf championships, and then obviously the run that our men's golf made in baseball, and with baseball with the championships also. I think you have to put those into play. And I can't wait for next year. As much as I hate to put an end to this year, I can't wait for next year.
Joel, it was fun. Thank you.
Thanks, Ty. You bet.
Thank
Have
you
a
very
good
much.
one. Enjoy
Thank
the
you.
sun.
I will do.
All right.
Here's the 0-2. A swing and a miss, and the Flashes win the pennant. Gill and Lyon are mobbed in the middle of the diamond, and for the third time in 3 years, the Flashes celebrate in Southern Ohio.
Songwriter Irving Berlin once said that the toughest thing about being a success is that you've got to keep on being a success. That sums up perfectly the Kent State athletic program's sustained string of domination. From a field hockey crown in the fall of 1991 to a wild baseball celebration in the spring of 2011, fans of the blue and gold have grown accustomed to teams chasing and ultimately celebrating championships. They did it again in 2011. It's time to start another decade For all of us on the campus of Kent State University, I'm Ty Linder. Go Flashes!
Youngman again working extreme right of the first base cover. This one lined in the air to deep right field there. It's going back at the track. Goodbye, baseball. A grand slam for David Ryan off of Taylor Youngman, and the Flashes lead 5-2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. You have got to be kidding me. It went into the Kent State bullpen, as he will never hit a bigger home run as a Kent State Golden Flash.